that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine for a winner's mentoring session. Here on Greenlight Maine, we are helping to grow Maine's economy one dream at a time. I'm Don Gooding with MCED, and I'll be moderating this discussion between entrepreneur and mentors, as I often do in my day job. With us in the studio is Jennifer Sissom of Goods to Go, as well as three mentors who are going to help Goods to Go work through one of their most challenging business issues. Now, I'm going to introduce the mentors in a couple minutes, but first, Jen, hello. Congratulations on advancing to the next round of the competition.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's been a while since we've heard about your company. So just to refresh our memories, what I'd like to do is run that winning pitch. Okay. And then maybe when we come back from that, talk a little bit about maybe a little bit what's been going on and maybe what you think about the pitch 6 months later. So let's go see the pitch. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Good to Go is the first line of all-natural dehydrated meals made for backpackers, campers, basically anyone on the go. I began cooking professionally over 20 years ago in New York City, and I owned one of the best restaurants in New York. With my business partner, Anita Lowe, we went on Iron Chef in 2005, and we beat the Iron Chef, Mario Batali.
So I met Jen 8 years ago here in Maine, and when I did, I introduced her to the outdoors, one of my passions. And day trips quickly turned into overnights and week-long trips, and Jen loved everything about it except for the food. So this New York City chef, now turned outdoors girl, started dehydrating our favorite meals for us to take backpacking, and they were absolutely fantastic. And so we looked at the market, and there's such a void for healthy meals, especially for active people. So Good to Go was born.
Good to Go is different from the competition. Our meals are all natural. I use fresh vegetables. We toast and grind our own spices. I'm a chef, not a food scientist. I work in a kitchen and not a lab. The 4 meals that we offer right now are the award-winning Thai curry, mushroom risotto, smoked free bean chili, and classic marinara and penne. All you need to do is add boiling water to the bag, stir, wait 20 minutes, and you're good to go.
The response has been absolutely fantastic. Backpacker Magazine gave us the Editor Choice Award for the Thai curry about 3 to 4 months after we started sales, and that was in April of 2014. We sold 162 meals that month. Since then, we're selling 10,000 meals every month right now. Both stores like Eastern Mountain Sports and REI are telling us that they're selling through 2 to 3 times faster than the competition. I talked to a sales staff recently at EMS, and he watched a customer grab a bag of Good to Go and was walking up to the counter and then turned back and picked up 10 more bags for his trip. They literally can't keep it on their shelves.
The market is huge. The Outdoor Industry Association reported in 2014 that 1.8 billion meals were eaten outdoors that year. That's just camping and backpacking. We haven't even touched the adjacent markets of fishing, hunting, boating, sailing.
Clearly, we need to make a lot more food. Well, Jen does, not me. Last year at this time, it was just her and I. Since then, we've added 8 new employees to help us with everything from cooking to shipping to a part-time CFO. And we've currently maxed out the facility that we're in. In the fall, we're going to build an addition, 1,400 square feet, to increase production 3 to 4 times. And that's probably going to carry us through for maybe a year.
When we get our production up to speed, we can also go into other markets of lunches at work, quick meals at home, travel vending. We've already been approached by Whole Foods as well as airport vending companies. The potential is huge. We love being here in Maine. We want to grow here in Maine. We want to hire more Mainers, and we also want to feed the world.
Well, that was a great pitch, Jen. Is there anything that you couldn't fit in that tight 3 minutes that you think, looking back, you'd like to include?
Actually,
you were good to
go.
Well, good. So we're going to go right on to the next thing, which is to introduce these 3 mentors. But I've got an exciting twist. The thing is that we know that great ideas can come from anyone. It's not about credentials, it's about creativity. So you're just going to know their first names, and you won't know whether or not they're a CEO or an out-of-the-box firefighter. Huh? Sounds good? Okay. So first we have Bill. Bill,
Nice to meet
great
you,
to be
Jennifer.
here. Yeah.
Thank you.
You ready to ask some great questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then in the middle, we have, we'll call you Taja.
Perfect.
Taja, thanks for being here. So you're ready to use all of your resources to help her company grow?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then finally, at the end, we have Keith. Now, Keith, like all of them, they can't talk about any of their background. So, Keith, you ready to go when we come back?
I'm ready good to go. I'm good to go.
Okay, well, there you have it. We have a winning entrepreneur. We have 3 people ready to help. And so we're going to be back after a short break, and we're going to talk about a really pressing business issue that's a barrier to growth for you. And I think it's going to be something where all of you are going to be able to bring all of your backgrounds. And so we'll be back after a short break here on Greenlight Maine.
Please visit greenlightmaine.com to follow the progress of your favorite entrepreneurs and find information and resources about becoming an entrepreneur yourself.
I'm Sean Gorman, chairman of the board at LL Bean. My great-grandfather LL started the company over 100 years ago selling a single product, the Maine hunting shoe. His pioneering determination revolutionized the outdoor industry, helping LL Bean become one of America's most beloved family-owned businesses. We've grown over the years, and we're still committed to developing innovative outdoor products. That's why LL Bean is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine, celebrating Maine's entrepreneurial spirit.
It doesn't take much to change your entire travel experience. It's more than a flight, it's the whole trip. Connect to your world with daily non-stop flights to Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, Charlotte, and New York City. Portland International Jetport. Way better.
Please join us to find vital information on our website at greenlightmaine.com and be a part of our vibrant community on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Together, we're building Maine's future, one dream at a time.
We're back at Greenlight Maine with a winning entrepreneur and 3 anonymous mentors, and we are ready to dig in to a challenge to growth. So, Jen, obviously from your winning pitch, you're doing great, but there are always business challenges. So what's keeping you up at night now?
Well, many things, but probably most pressing for my business and my business partner and I is how to increase the unique manufacturing that we do to meet the demand that is far exceeded what we can make it. Our capabilities. That's
right, because you said on the pitch that you're selling, you're getting the demand much more than you can make right now, which is a very high quality problem to have. But we're going to have a couple of minutes where you all can ask questions to try to dig in a little bit deeper. So, Bill, we'll start with you.
First, congratulations. Great idea, wonderful execution, and from what I understand, sounds like pretty good success this far in. How do you define capacity for your organization?
Right now, really just what we can do. I've worked with the Maine Extension Partnership and working on how many units we can produce. But we are in just a little 1,800 square foot Cape house. So there's clearly just size limitations and equipment limitations.
So you would measure it by the number of pouches per month, and so where are you now in terms of the number of pouches versus where you think you need to be?
Right now, we're manufacturing somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 per week, but really we need to do about 4 times that.
4 times that. Taja.
In the last pitch, you had mentioned that you were building an expansion, another 1,400 square feet in the fall. Has that happened, or are you still in the midst of building that?
We're about to get it off the ground. We have dug.
There's a hole in the ground.
We have dug. Yeah.
Keith.
Sounds like you're at a critical juncture, and it sounds like the volume and the reception has been overwhelming. And I'm curious to know that 1,400 square feet on top of the 1,800 square feet, is that only going to get you to 10,000 units?
Well, yeah. Right now, with the way that we've set it up, everything is just on one shift. So we can always go into a second shift, and the equipment is a lot bigger. There's a lot more. The ability. It's 4 times is kind of a conservative number, in fact. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'll just ask a brief question. You said you talked to Manufacturing Extension Partnership. Are there any other people that you've talked to, like people who know lean manufacturing?
Yeah, the main manufacturer. I've worked with a gentleman, Bill Whittier, and he's been able
great.
to.
Bill's awesome.
Yeah, just kind of. He came in a couple times and saw my process and kind of tried to figure out how we could streamline it. We've toyed around with having certain things done by co-packers. It's really just a matter of trying to figure out what's the best avenue, but everyone's so excited that we make it here. It's our secret kind of sauce, so we don't really want to send it out to just the world and be like, hopefully they'd make it the way we do.
More questions, Bill?
Yes. You're not working a second shift yet.
No.
But you have the capacity to do that.
With more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's as much a people issue.
Yeah, I mean, monetarily, people cost money, so we just work a lot.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it more of a money issue of bringing in more staff and being able to balance sales and employees?
Yeah, it's a little bit of being able to bring on payroll, which is a pretty big hump for us.
Classic chicken and egg, right? Yeah. All entrepreneurs go through that. Keith?
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that you're giving it as much thought as you are and you're moving the way that you are will probably ensure a much more likelihood of success than just running for the top line number. So I think there's a lot of resources out there for help. Obviously not just here, but I'm excited to talk more about it.
Okay. Yeah. So you talked a little bit about the money issues and the people issues and the manufacturing. Maybe if you can talk a little bit about how distribution plays into that, because in the pitch you were talking about how your existing demand was outstripping your current supply, but then you're going to be marketing to lots more people. So how big, do you need to make 100,000 a week? How big do you think you need to get in the next year?
What we have planned for the next year can really get us, and I talk very conservative all the time, through the next 18 months on a single shift. So there's things that I've been doing. We have 4 products that we started with. The next 2 products, I've not revamped them, but I've figured out how can I make more units per batch. How can I dial down the labor factor, but still keep the deliciousness factor in there so that people will still go, wow, this is camping food, this is awesome. So there's a little bit of play on that. There's certain things that, ingredients that maybe I don't need to do, somebody already does, like I'm going to be using chickpeas in something. There's a company that already dehydrates chickpeas. There's certain small ingredients that I'm still going to be able to do the secret sauce, but for volume-wise, I won't have to do every single ingredient. So some things have helped.
All right, great. So I think it's time for our panelists to share some of their ideas. So just as a reminder, panelists, the question is, how do they efficiently expand their unique manufacturing so that they can meet all of this demand? So Bill, some thoughts there?
Yeah, first, you have the business problem every other business hopes to have. So it's a great problem. My thoughts on this are, one, never give up the making of the product. because you're building a brand, and the brand should control every decision you make. And I do not believe that allowing co-packers to make a product is going to increase your brand velocity with the customer.
Yep, that's great. Taja, some quick thoughts?
To kind of build on that too, I think my question was more on a personal level for you, is where are you happiest in the company? Is it being a chef and creating, or is it actually producing and making? And that's a big question to figure out long term where you want to be.
Right.
Very, very interesting. Oh no, you can't say anything until we come back. Keith, final thought.
Well, I just think that the chicken and the egg comment that you made, Don, is so appropriate. And you know, a business plan and a well thought out business plan that addresses, you know, what your primary goals are in terms of the brand, and then what you want to do personally will help you shape exactly where you want to go. The biggest hurdle you have, you've gotten over, and that is that you've got success happening. And there's a lot of resources out there to help you shape where you're going.
Well, great. Well, we've heard from our anonymous mentors. So what are your thoughts about how to address this challenge? Feel free to post those ideas on Twitter and hashtag Greenlight Maine, or on our Facebook page. And we'll be back after a break with our entrepreneurs' reaction to these ideas here on Greenlight Maine.
We help businesses increase sales. We help increase sales by providing business owners, chief executives, and marketing managers with effective advertising strategies and marketing campaigns. We help businesses increase sales by providing practical advice and tactical plans that are meaningful and measurable. We can help your business increase sales. Find out how at SutherlandWeston.com.
Hi, Ross here for Dysart's Restaurant. Everyone's having meetings, meeting about this, meetings about that, meeting about meetings. How ridiculous is that? Got a meeting? Meet at Dysart's Broadway. Look at my chart. Dysart's Broadway's got 3 meeting rooms. A big one, a bigger one, and an even bigger one. And the big one and the bigger one can combine to be even bigger than the even bigger one. How ridiculous is that?
Great food, great service, and a great place for your meeting. Dysart's Broadway.
Big and bigger's bigger than even bigger.
Dysarts.com.
Ridiculous.
I'm not thinking about health insurance all the time, but when I do, I know that Community Health Options is there for us. Whether we're getting a checkup, a test at the lab, or we're in the hospital, Community Health Options is there every step of the way. They'll help you get the most of your prescription benefits and manage any ongoing conditions, so you can think about other things.
Member-centered Community Health Options. Sign up or re-enroll for 2016 at healthoptions.org.
If any of you in our television audience has a big idea, we encourage you to visit greenlightmaine.com for a list of resources and information about starting your own business.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We've heard about our Entrepreneurs Challenge. We've also heard some ideas from our panel of anonymous mentors. So Jen, you had a chance to listen to all of these. What do you want to dig into?
So I kind of wanted to morph the two of Bill and Taja's comments. What I find most interesting, and obviously as you grow, you really want to focus on what's your best talent and what you're happy at is. I love cooking and I love creating food. I probably am not going to be cooking the batches of 10,000, but...
No, that's not what you want to do? 10,000 meals a day.
I don't mind proving it every once in a while that I can still... But I've been coming up with new recipes, which has just been so much fun. I mean, I chase everybody around work and say, try this, try this, try this. So I know that that's something that I want to stay in R&D. But also, not that I want to go out to co-packers, but is there a happy medium, some way of, like I said, certain ingredients? Is there certain things that I can dial out of that I can still keep our brand? Because it is important to keep the brand. And I think everybody so far that has not only tried the product, liked the product, but been said stuff like, that's a great brand, which is a term I didn't know 2 years ago, but now I do.
Yeah. So Bill, thoughts on that?
Yeah, the brand, I think, is the most important piece of what you're actually building outside of the taste and the convenience of your product. And I think customers are buying from the chef, Jennifer, not from warehouse that's building product. So I think it's important that they understand that you're still in control of all that and in charge of the process and sourcing the ingredients, and there's that trust component today with food in your brand and the customer.
Taja, more thoughts on the brand?
Well, also, just given your background and with Iron Chef, you're also part of the brand. I mean, it's a personal brand as well as it is a consumer product brand. So I think, again, that's where it's really important for you to be doing what you love and not burning out, so that you can constantly focus on making delicious new recipes that'll help grow the brand itself.
Interesting, yeah. And Keith?
Well, just that story, you know, the more it resonates, the better it's going to serve the company as it continues to grow. Defining how it grows and how authentic you can keep that story will really dictate the degree of the success you're going to have. Right now, it sounds like you got a wild ride going on.
Yeah. So we've actually come to the point where we get to reveal who these anonymous mentors are. So we're going to start with you.
I'm Bill McGonigal. I'm currently the CEO of Thomas Moser Cabinet Makers in Auburn, Maine.
And thank you for this amazing set here.
You're welcome.
That's really beautiful. And it's interesting because you're a craft manufacturer that has that same struggle of how do you grow craft without losing the brand?
That's correct.
I love your brand.
I'm Taja Dockendorf. I'm the founder and brand strategist at Pulp+Wire.
And you do a lot with food packaging.
Quite a bit, yes.
Exactly, yeah. So lots of food companies in Maine have used your packaging services. And finally...
I'm Keith Canning. I'm one of the owners at Pine State Trading Company, and we are a wholesale distributor, and I'm also an owner and participating in Gelato Fiasco, Red Bar, and a couple of other food products that are startups.
Yeah, so you can see here that we've managed to find some people who have a lot of knowledge about your general area. And I think going forward, now that you know who they are, you're going to be able to talk to them afterwards and maybe make use of some of the resources that they have here. Well, that's great. So now that we know the identities of our three mentors, it's time for a short break, and we'll be back with some final thoughts here on Greenlight Maine.
As a leader in Maine and New England in providing integrated accounting, consulting, and tax services to clients large and small, the team at MacPage has proven to provide innovative solutions to help us better meet our clients' needs. We enjoy the people we serve and care about the work we do. The success of our business is based upon our ability to develop quality relationships, one client at a time. MacPage. Accessible, approachable, accountable.
I'm Sean Gorman, chairman of the board at LL Bean. My great-grandfather LL started the company over 100 years ago selling a single product, the Maine hunting shoe. His pioneering determination revolutionized the outdoor industry, helping LL Bean become one of America's most beloved family-owned businesses. We've grown over the years, and we're still committed to developing innovative outdoor products. That's why LL Bean is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine, celebrating Maine's entrepreneurial spirit.
For more information about the presenters and panelists on all the Greenlight Maine shows, visit greenlightmaine.com.
Back for some final thoughts here on Greenlight Maine, and I want to start by thanking our three mentors who have come to help the companies, because it's so important to have a community helping the entrepreneurs here in Maine. So in a 20-second nutshell, Taja, what do you think are some of the big takeaways, sort of next steps that you, and we were talking about this during the break, you're going to be able to help Jen with?
Absolutely. I'd love to talk further with Jen about packaging and going from small scale to large scale, but also how to go from the retail industry to the grocery store shelf aisle as well.
And thank you, Keith, also for being here. You're distributing all sorts of products. Some final thoughts?
I'd love to help them take the product and penetrate the vending channel and the away-from-home market. The consumer is looking for this type of quality product and to have that kind of an experience while they're away from home. And obviously our company facilitates that throughout the 6 New England states.
Great. And then, Bill, you know all about scaling a craft manufacturer. Final thoughts?
Once again, my final advice and thoughts to Jen and David, continue to look through the lens of the brand to make every decision, including production decisions.
Okay. So, Jen, as you think about this great experience we've had here today, some big takeaway that you're going to go out and do now?
Well, I think what Bill said, I mean, it's important for us, and we always do think about the brand, and there are teasers every once in a while that think like, it might be a little easier, but I think that is important, and I have people that do remind me, like, don't ever give up your ideals. So that's really important, and then clearly the two of you can help with the get it done ability of get it into a container and sell it, because there's a lot.
That's awesome. Well, best of luck to you and your company and in the next round of the competition, which kind of reminds me, so watch our Facebook page and greenlightmaine.com for announcements about the rest of the competition. We're going to have a live event to narrow down our 13 competitors to 2, followed by the final 2 weeks of our online competition where you can help pick a wild card. And then finally, a televised championship event where one of those 3 companies will walk away with $100,000. We'll also let you know when we start accepting video pitches for next year's competition. And remember, if you want to start your own business, greenlightmaine.com has lots of resources for you. Keep thinking big and keep the positive feedback coming, especially for the companies you see on the show, because together, the Greenlight Maine community is helping to grow Maine's economy one dream at a time.
Greenlight Maine has been brought to you by LL Bean. Guaranteed, season after season. Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you. Prize money for Greenlight Maine provided by Maine Accelerates Growth through a grant by the Maine Community Foundation. Outreach and community engagement in partnership with Maine Startup and Create Week. Furniture for Greenlight Maine provided by Thomas Mosier. Handmade carpets for Greenlight Maine provided by Mugalian Rugs. Broadcast facilities provided by the New England School of Communications at Husson University.
Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.